Shalom, y'all. Shalom. This is part 2 of the video. And yeah, as I was saying, you all squandered, the time that you had here. So you're going to have to pay for that. And ultimately, them cutting the internet would be um, what they needed to do to introduce this new system, right? All right, the beast system, right? This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. This word mark means charagma, which means piercing or engraved. Matter of fact, let me go to it. Salakia, y'all. Let's go right on to it, right? Mark.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
See it over here? Charagma, right? And the point is thing carved. This is the point. Thing carved, sculpture, graven work, right? Because in order for you to carve something, you have to go and pierce the surface layer of whatever you're carving. Sculpture, you have to pierce the surface layer of whatever you're sculpting. Graven work. In order for something to be graven work, let's look it up. Graven work. Let's look at the images, right? You see how it's digging into the ground? Right? This is another image of graven work. In order for you to carve this out of this stone, you have to dig into the surface of it, right? That's the same thing as this, right? And it's going to look like this, right? You see how they have this RFID chip? That's what this charagma is. You see how they have a syringe digging into the surface of the layer of the skin? This is going to be it. It's going to be the size of a grain of rice. They have another instance of it right here. Right here. See how it's the size of a grain of rice? About the size. Right? You see how this person got it in their hand? This is the RFID chip, the charagma, the MOTB, y'all. So if you didn't know, you know it now. Now, this is Revelations 13:16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, right? No man might buy or sell. So in order for you to buy something or sell something, you need the banking system to be up, right? Because that's how currency flows, correct? So as she was saying, your banks and all that, let's go here.
So Iran doesn't need to threaten to cut anything because they're already there. The threat is now without anything. Your bank runs on this. Hospitals run on this. Global financial systems.
Right? And everything she named are going to be the things that the MOTB is going to run, is going to be controlling, right?
Hospitals.
That RFID chip is going to control. That RFID chip will have your hospital records, will have your identification, will have your money, your currency on it. You notice how she said the banks.
Your bank runs on this.
The banks run on these internet and stuff. Well, when these things collapse, they're going to have a digital system where everything is going to run on a digital system. The banks, all of that, your healthcare, everything.
Hospitals run on this. Global financial systems. 80% of the U.S.
Right? So this is Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, score and six, 666. Right, representative of Esau, Edom. And you know what's crazy about this is that this is very close and near, because this war, all it's doing is pushing these prophecies to come to light even faster, right? Iran having the ability to cut the internet is one strike closer to um, a global collapse, right? If all of these banking systems run off of it, she just spoke about the United States, but that's not to say that all of these other ones are run off of it, right?
Military communications.
Also, the military communications, right? Look, things will get disarrayed, but they have order out of chaos, right? They creating the chaos because they're starting this war, and they have the solution to the chaos, which will be the MOTB, right? So when don't say nobody didn't tell you, right? It's gonna be the famine of the word, and they're gonna introduce that MOTB. If they cut those cables, y'all, it's going to be a collapse. You know how many people use these banking systems, online internet banking systems? Wall Street, everything is ran off of this, right? That'll be an instant economic collapse, instantly, right? Not only would they cut that, it will cut communications as far as your phone lines, right? As well, right? So it wouldn't be any more communication. And then also, I wanted to bring out the fact that from that, you won't be able to travel, right? You won't be able to travel because those planes, that's why we were saying earlier, that's why we were saying earlier, if those planes, look, everything is setting itself up. The Straits of Hormuz controls the gas, which the planes needs the gas. So if they cut that, then there won't be any travel. But also, if they cut the internet, then there won't be any travel because they won't be able to communicate while being in flight, right? People thinking that it's just everything is just in the air and all of that. No, it's dealing with fiber optic cables that send signals to a certain router. The router sends a signal out there, which is likened to Wi-Fi or likened to your phone lines and all of that. And none of that works without all of this system being in place. If they cut that system, that's basically them resetting the system, right? And a man, it will try to go into a city, he won't be able to, right? He'll try to fly into the next country, going somewhere he ain't gonna be able to, right? So this is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And we're coming upon that, right? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And they'll definitely be afraid if that internet cut off, because that's all financial stability. Everybody's will go out the window. All of your jobs use the internet to systemize how much they pay you and when to deposit your money into the accounts and all of that. Your accounts are internet accounts, right? They're not doing any accounting by hand no more. So y'all just watch out for this, y'all. And with that, and this is not all the way 100% certain, but we're not going to be ignorant to any of these devices. And with that, I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakapadash. Shalom, y'all. On to the next one.